Hi everybody, this is Desda. Welcome to my first ever Facebook Live video. I hope that you are going to tune in. Hi Kathy, thank you for joining tonight. There's one viewer. And let's see who else. Cheryl, good evening. I'm also waiting for our guest, Emma, to appear this evening. I'm so excited to be doing this. This is a wonderful way for me to share my dream, Plus Images TV. For those of you who may not know, I had a cable access program on for almost 5 years called Plus Images for Plus Women. It was a talk show format for and about plus size women. And so this show, we'll do an interview, and it'll be uploaded later on to my YouTube channel. Now my guest looks like she's on, so let me see if I can't get her. Bear with me, I'm new to this. So I did a test run this weekend with my granddaughter. It worked fine, but I need to see her. Let me see. That's always the way with something new. It's trial and error, so bear with me. Let me find her on here and invite her. Don't go away, guys. So Emma, I'm just waiting for you to come up and we can start the program. I know this is always a challenge. Oh my gosh. There's Emma. Bring Emma on camera. It shows that you're adding. Terrific. Ooh, fingers crossed, everybody. Hi, Cheryl, Anne-Marie, Kathy, Mary. Thank you for stopping by this evening. And there you are.
Hey, can you see me okay? I'm like, hold on, let me see a better way to work.
Well, everybody, welcome to my first ever Facebook Live broadcast. I'm so glad that you stopped by this evening. Of course, this is Plus Images TV, where the measure of your worth is not determined by your dress size. I have such a wonderful guest, and she has such a unique job. Her name is Emma Medeiros, if I'm saying that right?
Yes, you are. You are one of the few people that do not butcher it.
Oh, well, good. Well, I have one of those names too, so
Yeah.
I try really extra hard. Emma is the first fashion PR firm in the United States specializing in the plus size industry. Is that right? Correct?
That's right.
And that's everything from photographers to models and designers.
Yes, ma'am.
And you are the founder of a company called Medeiros Fashion PR.
Yes.
So please, everybody that's watching, welcome Emma. And let's get underway.
All right.
Emma, I'm always really interested in people's backgrounds to start. I like to get to know them a little bit
Sure.
about where they're from, where they grew up. So why don't you tell my audience a little bit about yourself?
So I grew up in Rhode Island, which I live in Boston now, so it's about an hour away, or as most people say, an hour in a world away, because it is. It's a completely different world. I mean, this is what my mother said when I said I was moving to Boston, and keep in mind I was, 27, not 16. She goes, "You're moving to Boston?" I mean, I wish I had her face on camera. I'm like, yes,
My baby's leaving.
oh, baby! It's like, oh my gosh. I'm like, you know that city an hour away? Yeah, that's where I'm going. Not Japan. You will see me again. So just that mentality. So I'm from Rhode Island originally. I lived in Boston for about almost 9 years now. And let's see, I mean, I went to college when I was 18, right out of high school, and I was actually a music major. because
Oh
I was
my.
in 3 choruses and marching band, the whole bit when I was in high school. And I did that for a couple of years, and then I realized that I didn't want to do that as a profession, but I wanted to do it as a hobby. Like I have the church choir and everything like that. So I took some time off. I got my aesthetics license for skincare, and I actually joined Sephora. And I see one of my
Oh
former
my.
coworkers, Dina Lynn Pilla, is watching. I worked
Oh,
with her for about 3 years in Providence Place, Rhode Island. We opened up the store together. That was the very first Sephora in Rhode Island, so that was pretty cool.
wow.
So, yep.
Trailblazer.
Yes, exactly. So I was there for about 3 years when I decided to go back to school, and I went to school in Boston. So we transferred up here, and so me and my now husband, then fiance, so he came with me. And I graduated in 2012 with a marketing degree. So underneath the marketing degree, you can do PR, you can do advertising. There's quite a few things that you can do. So, excuse me. So when I was getting close to graduating, at first I did want to stay with Sephora. I love Sephora. It was a wonderful company to work for. And at the time, their PR and marketing was in New York City. So I was like, great, I love New York. It's not that far. You know, my bags are packed pretty much because my boss was amazing. She was like, oh, we can get you there. I mean, that's the thing with Sephora. They can, you know, if you want to get somewhere in the company, they'll do everything they can to get you there. So, and then she calls me in, yes, which is awesome. So then my boss calls me in about a month before I graduated. And she says, I'm so sorry to tell you this. I was like, oh God, what? She goes, all the PR and marketing moved to California, to San Francisco. And I was
Oh
like,
wow. Oh, that is
it's
almost a world
it's
away though for you.
wonderful. It's a wonderful city. It's too far from our families. You know, I was about to get married and his family is on the East Coast. So it's too far. So, but it turned out to be a blessing in disguise because I was like, okay, plan B. And then I realized how much I loved, you know, the fashion industry, and of course the beauty industry is really linked to that as well. So it's very much
Of
related.
course.
And at the time, the plus size industry was really starting to explode. You know, it's even more so now, but it was starting to then. So I was like,
Around what year was that? Did this happen?
I graduated in 2012. So about
Okay.
6 years ago now. So it's really starting to,
Yeah,
you know, even more so.
not
Yeah. So it was really good timing. And I realized I wanted to specialize in plus size PR. And at the time, I really assumed, I was like, there must be a few plus size PR firms. There has to be. You know, the industry is so huge. And I could not find a single one. I was like, really? You know, in the US, there's just didn't exist. So you know, there are a lot of fashion PR firms that may or may not have a few plus size clients, but there is nobody that I could find, at least, that really specialized in it. So,
special.
exactly. Exactly. Well, the benefit of that for my
Yeah.
clients is that they know that all of my resources, all of my connections, all of my everything is relevant to them. So I'm not going to waste a single moment of my time or dime of their money reaching out to people that are not going to benefit them in some way, shape, or form.
Right.
So that's the reason why I chose to specialize in it.
I see.
Yeah.
So that was your inspiration.
Yes,
Sephora,
exactly.
moved to California,
Oh
or
yeah. Yeah, I mean it's amazing. And I stayed with Sephora until about a year and a half ago. I was able to quit and do materials fashion PR full time.
oh,
So I was
that's
with them for
great.
about 10 years. Yeah.
So,
It's an amazing job. I mean, great company.
but explain a little bit what your type of firm does, uh, who your clients are, and what your mission is.
Sure. Well, first, let me start by explaining PR because a lot of people don't understand public relations as a role. So, public relations is different from advertising. It's like, oh, you do advertising. I'm like, no, advertising is different. So, advertising is paid. So, when the average person sees an ad, whether it's in a magazine, a billboard, whatever, they know that it is a paid ad. So, whether or not your product or service is any good, if you have the money, you can buy that ad. So how PR work? Yep. So how PR works is you still there? Okay. Just wanted to make sure. How PR? Okay. So how PR works is yes, you pay me for my services and my time, but I'm reaching out to journalists to whatever that they're not paid to write about you. They're paid to write a story, not about you. So if they write about you anyway, it means a lot more in the public mind. It's actually called third party credibility. It's almost like when you get a recommendation for a restaurant, a movie, whatever from a friend. While, yes, you may have seen the commercial advertising it, it kind of gets the ball rolling. When your
I
friend
got
says, when your friend who is not paid by the restaurant says, oh my gosh, you've got to go there. They have amazing food and great service. You know, it means a lot more. You're going there the next night. So that's how
Sure.
it works. Yeah, I mean, advertising has its place. Of course, I'm not saying it doesn't. It's just a balance of, PR and advertising. So that's
So
PR.
I see. So
No,
your business is located in Boston then,
I'm
primarily.
located in Boston, but I have clients all over. I actually don't have any clients in Boston right now. It's ironic. I have
Oh, you
clients
don't?
in New York, in Houston, in LA, you name it. I mean, thanks to the
How
internet.
about Chicago?
Chicago, let me think. As of now, not yet. You never know.
Never
Yep.
know.
So as of now, not
Okay.
yet. So we'll see. And so it's great because the internet and everything like that, I can do, whatever I need to do. And sorry, my cat is rubbing against my phone.
You
Guinevere,
know how that.
she's like, "Why are you talking to that? You should be playing with me."
Absolutely.
I'm like, "Okay, Guinevere, you need to get down, sweetie."
May I take a moment to say hello to some of my friends who
Of
have
course.
stopped by? Anne Marie, Kathy, Cheryl. Thank you guys for stopping by and supporting the program. I really appreciate it. Anna, hello. I saw Henry here a little bit ago, and I saw my cousin, Ashley. Thank you guys for your support.
I see a
So,
couple of my cousins on here too. I see
yeah,
Michaela
of course.
Andrade, Maria Myers. Thank you, my loves. My family always supports me. I have such a great support system just in general. So I love them.
Terrific. That's terrific. So, my next question is, um, does does the fashion there's a plus size fashion industry, there's mainstream fashion industry. Do they differ? Are there any significant differences in the
It
way
is
they present
starting to
themselves?
cross over. It is definitely starting to cross over. I mean, mainstream media like Vogue, Elle, all of that, they are starting to finally recognize that women have curves. Oh, gasp.
Imagine that.
No, who would have thunk? So finally, I mean, a few years ago or even a couple of years ago, it would have been unheard of, especially in a magazine like Vogue that's all about skinny, skinny, skinny. It would have
You
been
bet.
unheard of to have a plus size woman. Of course, to them, plus size is like 6 or 8, but that's another issue. So it is thankfully crossing over into, the mainstream as well. So, which I think is a really good thing because why should it be separate? Why should it be separate if it's just a different size? We still want to be fashionable. We still want to be sexy. It's like,
Exactly.
why does it? I don't know.
It doesn't stop. It doesn't all come to an abrupt stop or hit a
No,
wall. And you can't be pretty. You can't be sexy. You can't be
totally.
fashionable. You can't be stylish. So that's
Yeah.
terrific. So now, how do you get your clients? Do they come to you? Do you go to do you
Sometimes,
see them?
yes, it's really flattering when they reach out to me, like, "Oh, I heard you from so and so." I'm like, "Oh, I mean, that kind of thing is absolutely wonderful." Just recently, I signed a client that was recommended by another client, so I love that. Let's
Nice.
see. Networking is the most important part. So networking via in person, online. One trick that I use is called Google Alerts. Have you ever heard of that?
I think I have.
Okay.
How does that work?
It's a free service from Google. So you look up Google Alerts and you can sign up for notifications on keywords. So plus size fashion, curvy fashion, whatever, in your any industry,
Mhm.
not just fashion. So you get notifications you can do every week, every day, whatever, about what's going on with those keywords. So I
I,
see who's in the industry. I see who's writing the news. I see what's going on. I see what events to go to. So that sort of thing. So it's not like one way I get clients. It's really a multitude of ways.
I see.
Mhm.
Well, you mentioned events. Do you sponsor events or do you organize events for the
Sometimes I do.
industry?
Yep. I also offer event planning. So if my client, for example, plus size designer wants to do a plus size show, I can absolutely help them do the event. I mean, I actually planned my own wedding. That was, if I can do
Oh
that, I
boy,
can do
that
anything.
was
I can, nothing else is
you
worth
could do
it.
anything. You could
Yes,
do anything for anybody.
anything's less stressful than that. But yes, I can help them find models, photographers, makeup artists, hairstylists, you name it. Absolutely.
So what types? So it's any kind of, and so do does the plus size consumer come in here anywhere, or are these events that you plan mostly for industry people?
I mean, my clients are industry people, not the direct consumers. So their
I see.
customers are the consumers. But of
I,
course, the idea is that you get the customers to come to the show. So the shows themselves, or the events themselves, I should say, are usually a mix of industry people and consumers.
and consumers, I see. Well, what are some of the trends that you're seeing in plus size fashion? What can we look forward to in the coming seasons, the coming months? I know they're always a couple seasons ahead
Oh yes,
as far
definitely.
as go, but what?
Really a lot of rule breaking, quote unquote rule breaking, like, oh, you shouldn't wear horizontal stripes and you shouldn't do this and a lot of no's, like shouldn'ts, are being
Oh
thrown
yeah,
out the window. Like,
taboos.
I'm gonna wear whatever the F I want.
Sure,
Because the thing is, you want to wear what feels good on you. You know, for
exactly.
example, I fell in love with this dress that is 2 months rent, so it's on the bucket list right now.
Mm.
But it'll be worth it because I tried it on. It just it might have been called, might as well have been called the Emma dress. That's how well it fit me. And
One of those. I love those. And
so
those you find
it's, you know,
always.
couldn't get it right now, but it's definitely, I'm saving up for it. And my husband said, well, what if it goes out of style by the time you can afford it? I said, I don't care. It's my style.
No,
Therefore, it's in style.
it's
So
an
a lot of that.
investment piece, as they
Yeah, a lot
say.
of that. I mean, yes, every season has its trends and trends followers or whatever, but I really encourage women. I mean, try the trends, absolutely. Give it a whirl. You never know, you might love it, but don't feel that
Look,
you have to follow this trend. And I think, of
right,
course, it goes for
exactly.
straight size as well as plus size.
That's great.
Yeah.
So, what is the future? What are future plans for Medeiros PR?
Adiros Fashion PR. Let's see. Well, I've been signing a lot of new clients recently. I mean, it's really been picking up this year. One of the reasons why is because I am now part of the PR Couture Council. So with
I'm
that,
going to get to
yes,
that. I
yep.
want to look into
Yeah,
that.
so PR Couture is kind of like the go-to resource for anybody in the fashion industry. So whether you own a PR agency, if you're looking for a publicist, or if you're looking for clients, so say you're a model and you want to model for a certain designer. Oh, I know they're repped by X amount, you know, X PR firm, so I go to PR Couture. So I'm part of the Couture Council, like I said, which started this year and is a 12-member agency, a 12-member group of agency owners who are breaking barriers in the industry.
I
So I'm
see.
the first one doing PR, plus size PR, and they reached out to me. That was very flattering. My head got a little bit
That
bigger,
is.
not gonna lie. So, you know, the benefit for my clients is that they're going to promote Madero's Fashion PR and my clients as well. So not only do you get our vast resources, you get, you know, this amazing partner too. So I'm really happy about that, and my clients are reaping the benefits.
Well, wonderful. It's great to have those types of resources.
Oh yeah.
Well, Emma, I would love for your firm to represent me because I can see
I
that
would
you're
love to talk about it. Absolutely. I was
a
like,
mover.
why am I not working with this woman already? Absolutely. We will definitely
Well,
talk about
I had a show on for 5 years
that. Hmm.
on cable, cable access. That cable access got a bad rap because, there's a lot of junk out there. But I felt my show was very well received. It was seen by more than 1 million households
Wow.
in the suburban Chicago communities. I was on for almost 5 years every Saturday night at
Wow.
7 p.m. I had people come up to me and say, you were my date every Saturday at
Oh,
7 o'clock Saturday. And unfortunately, logistic issues with Comcast and where I was and where they moved to, it just didn't work out. But I always knew I wanted to bring Plus Images to a more global audience,
oh yeah,
and
I know that.
hopefully with folks like you sharing Plus Images TV information on YouTube, and my Facebook page is PI TV, capital P, lowercase I TV. Look for the Ebony Goddess with the golden backdrop.
Mm.
But also, I'd like to know where people are interested to learn more about you, Emma. Where can they find that information?
Absolutely. So you can find me at madeirosfashionpr.com. So Medeiros is Medeiros fashion PR, like public relations.com. If you just Google Emma Medeiros, I mean, I come right up. So you can find me
It'll
there.
show you right there.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. I mean, the consultation is free. A lot of clients ask me if I have to pay to have a free consult. That doesn't make sense. If they have to pay for an
Yes,
additional,
yes,
for an initial, I know, right? So the initial consultation is free, and I always encourage people, even if you're not ready for a publicist right now, please call me. People are like, oh, I can't afford you yet. I'm like, that's okay. I want to talk with you, get to know you better, and you know what? That has paid off in the past. People come up to me 6 months later, you know what? I'm so glad I talked to you because now I'm ready. Let's go. I
great.
want to get to know you better, start the relationship, because it really is the most important part. I mean, the relationships, it's built right into the name, public relations.
Exactly.
You know, the money will
Well,
come later. That's the most important part is our relationship.
Well, I've seen you out there for quite some time now, and I see your pictures at
Ah,
events, and you wear like the greatest outfits, and
thank
some
you.
of them are
I
very
do.
different.
I
I love
try to do things that are a little different. I even had when I got married, I had a Renaissance theme wedding. So I had a purple wedding dress. We had a castle that was a real cake that was a castle. I'm sorry. We cut it with a real sword. I mean, I don't do anything normal, quote unquote.
don't do anything
Yes.
that way. Well, it
Uh,
sounds exciting. Well, you know what? I've really loved talking to you, and I
yes.
want to thank my friends for joining in, and your friends for joining in,
Yes. Thank you,
and I
everyone.
want to. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I said thank you, everyone.
Oh, okay. Well, uh, I'm very excited that everyone was able to, whoever stopped by was able to stop by and support me and to support Emma on this very first Plus Images TV Facebook Live. And later on tonight, I'll do some editing, so it'll have some graphics and some credits and things on it. So we'll put Emma's information up there as
Yeah.
well. But
Contact
thank you all
information as
so
well.
much. Thank you,
All right.
Emma.
Thank
Again,
you,
it was
everyone.
great talking
And
to
we will
you.
talk later. Yes, you and me
Yes,
will
great.
talk later. I want to
And
take you to the next level.
everybody out there, oh, I'd love that. I'd love that. And everybody out there, thanks for supporting Plus Images TV. And you know the motto, where the measure of your worth is not determined by your dress size. Until I see you all again, everybody. Mwah. Thank you. And thank you to my family, friends, loved ones, and my special Eli family. They know who they are for supporting me tonight.
Gotta
Thanks
have family
again. Bye,
support.
everybody.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
everyone.